25 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
What do women need to bring to the table? It's not just a man that needs to bring something to the table. We do too. And here's a list based on experience, research that I came up with. So take out your pen and paper. Let's get into it, family. Number 1, she needs to be nurturing, if she's gonna be the mother of your kids and all. Number 2, capacity and willingness to respect you as a man. Number 3, to be understanding of most men's innate pressure to perform in order to provide for his family. To be understanding of that. The next one is not to add to that pressure. It's already heavy enough. Next is to be supportive. Strength of character, moral compass, God-fearing. Intelligent and competent. She's loyal. And last but not least, does not allow for outside voices to impact the dynamics of the relationship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building with a weekender. I gotta end it tonight. Lord have mercy. Why are so many people concerned about what you bring to the table? And I'm hearing her, the young lady, what's her name, Andy, do you know? Samantha Lee. And she said some pretty good things, right? I thought it was pretty fair, a fair list. But I'm here to tell you, there's another table that people are not talking about. What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? An intriguing look at moving on versus carrying on. What do you mean, Zoe? See, there's this other table, right, where you carry a bunch of mess from previous situations, unresolved issues. What was it, Erykah Badu? She called it a bag lady. Well, it's a bag man too. But what are you bringing to the psycho-spiritual table? First off, nurturing can be performed. Empathy can be performed. We talked about it yesterday, where empathy is dying in America. It's about performance, right? So all the things that she mentioned can be performed, right? Oh, yeah, Truemonger called it a spirit hoarder. Or an internal baggage hoarder. What else are you bringing to this psycho-spiritual table? You say, well, Zoe, what is a psycho-spiritual? From your psychology, your thoughts and behaviors. And then what are you carrying in your spirit that I can't see? See, we all can perform like we got it together. See, it's easy to move on. Right? Or it's difficult to move on. It's much harder, or it's much easier to carry on. What do you mean by that, Zoe? When you can move on, I wrote a book in 2015. It's called The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. Available on Amazon.com in multiple formats. You see it in paperback, Audible, Kindle, whatever. Stick the landing, meaning there's no residue from the past situation still on you or within you, right? And I mean psycho-spiritual residue. No more resentment, no more frustration. You can release and let things go. But many people don't move on, they carry on. See, it's easy to end the relationship and carry all of this psycho-spiritual debris into the next relationship. And you must remember, typically that psycho-spiritual debris, right, is imperceptible, right? It's imperceptible. You can't see it. So the person comes in, behaves right, acts right, thinks right, talks right, vibes right, and you think it is right. Not necessarily. Are y'all ready? What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? A non-linear excavation of relational debris disguised as love in an age where relationships have become performative rituals of unconscious repetition. The real question is no longer what do you bring to the table, but why do you continue serving expired truths on a plate you refuse to wash? Tonight's topic, man, we're going to detonate the myth of moving on. We're going to expose it as emotional gentrification, a psychological remodeling project where trauma is repackaged, wounds are rebranded as wisdom, and spiritual clutter is mistaken for growth. Most of us aren't moving forward. We're carrying on. We're dragging the corpses of the past selves, right, like trophies wrapped in incense with affirmation. 1-800-920-1580. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Krishnamurti insisted that true observation requires the death of evaluation. But observation is rare, especially objective observation. But observation is rare in a culture addicted to reenactment. The character one adopts. Ooh, that's how I'm going to carry on. I'm going to adopt a character of unbothered. I'm going to adopt the character of I'm good. I'm going to adopt the character of I'm over it. The character one adopts in love is often a curated artifact, an emotional avatar engineered to seduce validation while concealing vulnerability. According to Jean Piaget, right? Our early relational schemas harden like psychic calluses. Man, Do you know what a relational schema? Listen, according to Jean Piaget, our early relational schemas harden like psychic calluses, rarely reviewed, barely questioned. Thus, romantic partners become less of a choice and more of a karmic summons. Animated echoes of our unresolved self-concept. Enter the spiritual hoarder, the one who quotes Rumi but refuses to unclench their victim narrative. They cleanse their crystals, but not their ego. They burn sage while hoarding grief and mistake vibrational residue for a personality. As Pema Chodron notes, nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Yet, in our attempts to bypass pain, we decorate our internal landfill instead. Our landfill is crazy. An internal trash, a trash dump, a garbage dump, an internal landfill is diabolical. Yet, in our attempt to bypass pain, we decorate our internal landfill instead of composting it into presence. Healing becomes aesthetic. Dysfunction gets a halo. Alfred Korzybski, one of my favorites as well, his work on general semantics, especially his seminal distinction that the map is not the territory, right? I love the other one, he says. The definition creates the condition. So many of you are self-defined, right? Oh, here we go. As victim, self-defined as I had nothing to do with it. It wasn't my fault. I didn't ask for this, right? So many of us are like that we miss actually our true participation, our true contribution into the things that we say, into the realities that we live in, that we say we don't want, right? Alfred Korzybski says it so plainly, though. The map is not the territory. It unlocks a profound relational koan. Are you hip to koans in Zen Buddhism? A famous koan is, what is the sound of one hand clapping? These types of questions are designed to get you to think outside of the box. So does Alfred Korzybski's E prime, right? And again, his distinction, that seminal distinction, the map is not the territory, unlocks a profound relational koan. Most of what we call truth in love is linguistic possession, not perception. Language, right, ossifies fluid states into fixed identities. She is available. He is toxic. Yet, E prime forces the speaker to reckon with perception rather than projection. It deconstructs our certainty, making space for subjectivity, and in doing so, invites actual dialogue rather than defensive monologue. Insecure attachment, as outlined by John Bowlby, Levine, and Dr. Romney, it doesn't crave intimacy, right? It craves familiarity. Trauma bonds are the comfort food of the psyche, high in drama, low in nourishment. What looks like chemistry is often your nervous system identifying a reenactment opportunity. Your type, likely your trauma with a different face. What we call love is often a rehearsed performance of our unmet needs. And you say, Zoe, why are you so harsh tonight? Why I gotta be all like that, Zoe? Why relationships got? Because somebody had never told you the truth. And this is a truth-telling platform. What do you bring to the table? The psycho-spiritual table. You can bring your degrees. You can bring your bank account. You can bring your cars, your home. You can bring your success. But if you don't know what's on the psycho-spiritual table, if you don't know what you got packed in your shadow bags that you are carrying to the next relationship, it doesn't matter what you have or what you've accomplished. The only thing in relationships that matter is what you healed. It's what you healed over what you have. Ooh, some people got fake peace. Some people got quiet and they think it's peace. Some people have predictability, right? And they think predictability and don't say that, so I sometimes I want to say things and I don't want to lose people. I don't want to offend people. Right? But let me tell you, tonight's topic is designed to trigger, right? I want you to think deeply about what I'm saying, right? Are we self-unaware of this darkness that we ourselves are responsible for bringing into the relationship? Is it our partner's responsibility to kind of perform around this darkness? How do they perform around the darkness? They capitulate to our expectations of them. Right? It's heavy. High in drama, low in nourishment. Are you in a relationship like that? Are you rehearsing love? What have you carried into this relationship? I want to know. To move on in its most sacred sense is not to date someone new or to adopt a new language. It is to become naked to identity, to divest from the performance of coherence, and to embody the paradox that healing happens when you stop trying to be healed. To clean the plate is not sterile. The clean plate, let me say it to you right. The clean plate is not sterile. It is a surrendered plate. It does not scream, I'm ready. It whispers, I'm empty. This inquiry on the Voice of Reason tonight will demand that we transcend the binaries of readiness versus resistance, worthiness versus wounding, love versus lack. It dares us to ask whether your partner is a soulmate or a soul mirror, reflecting your hoarded pain, whether your love language is authentic or a trauma dialect in disguise. When we come forward, the Voice of Reason gonna slap us all upside the dome piece.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
What about you? Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, Hey, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey guys, I'm Heidi Prieb. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This month on this channel, we're talking about neuroticism. And today in particular, I want to talk about a neurotic dynamic that tends to underlie anxious avoidant relationship dynamics. So anxious avoidant relationships are essentially any relationship where one partner has and is expressing more anxious attachment wounds and the other partner has or is expressing more avoidant attachment wounds. And very often when we get into these relationships, what it feels like is we just can't seem to find common ground. We just can't seem to make sense of why these conflicts go on and don't get resolved, why it feels like we're not seeing eye to eye. And what I want to talk about today is the underlying reason why that often is. So anytime we are having an argument, we are generally having a couple arguments at once. One is the kind of top layer, surface level argument. So you didn't do the dishes, or you never text me back on time, or I know you don't like your sister-in-law, just admit it to me, I already know it. When in reality, we're having a conflict that's actually a lot deeper than that under the surface. Now, what's distinct between anxious avoidant or insecurely attached dynamics and secure dynamics is that in secure dynamics, what's under the surface is generally not that deeply obscured from the people having the argument. So securely attached people tend to have less blind spots that are guiding their behavior and causing them to go into conflict somewhat blind to their true intentions. Whereas when you have anxious avoidant couples or mutually insecurely attached couples of any attachment orientation, what often happens is you have two people who are very frequently arguing from their unconscious blind spots. So what they're saying the problem is truly, consciously, what they believe the problem is. But there's very often a deeper subconscious wound that's being expressed or that's being avoided through the argument that's more indicative of the real reason why they're in conflict. So today what we're going to talk about is how to start becoming more aware of what it is that you're actually arguing about if you're in one of these anxious avoidant or insecurely attached relationships, as well as how we can start moving to a more secure style of conflict. So very often what I believe is going on under the surface of these anxious avoidant dynamics is that there's a fundamental mismatch in each party's premise about what the relationship is and what purpose they want it to serve in their lives. But very often, both people in the partnership have the same conscious or explicit relationship intention. So they might both come in going, yeah, I want a partner to spend my life with. And they might think that they're aligned on what it is they're looking for in a relationship, when in reality, these unconscious wounds are actually driving them to look at the relationship very differently. And the problem is that when we're triggered, when we are in conflict, when we are under threat, those unconscious wounds start arguing on our behalf. So we are no longer operating from the rational part of our brains that knows consciously and explicitly what we want out of our partnerships. We're now arguing from the part of ourselves that has partnership as a concept represented in a way that is actually quite different from our conscious or explicitly stated views of what a partnership is and what role we want it to fill in our lives. So if you're insecurely attached, it's highly likely that your own conscious and unconscious ideas about what you want out of your relationship are not aligned. And then when you get into conflict with your partner, if you're both insecurely attached, you're probably arguing unconscious to unconscious rather.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The White House claims former President Obama tried to sabotage current President Trump after the 2016 election. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says newly declassified documents support the claim and show there was no Trump-Russia collusion.
The Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump.
Obama's office called the accusations outrageous and a weak attempt at distraction. Rapper Glorilla is facing felony drug charges after police found a large amount of marijuana in her Atlanta area home while responding to a burglary. She was later released on a $22,000 bond. And several people were briefly detained during a Wednesday night protest for Jabari Peoples, the 18-year-old fatally shot by police in Homewood, Alabama. Led by Black Lives Matter, demonstrators demanded release of body cam footage. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5%
Break out
off.
the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
relax. That's the first thing the universe wants from you. Not effort, not strain, not this desperate clawing at life's doors, just stillness, just presence, just you being you. You see all this running, this chasing, this need to make it happen, it's noise. And in that noise, we lose the subtle whispers of the cosmos trying to show us another way. The universe, in its grand design, does not strive. The tree does not push the leaves out. The sun does not scream to rise. The rivers do not argue their flow. And yet everything gets done, life unfolds. Seasons change, flowers bloom, not with effort, but with alignment. And so it is with you. The more you try to grab at life, the more it slips between your fingers like sand. But if you allow, truly allow, life begins to move toward you, not away from you. You've been taught that to succeed, to have love, to find purpose, you must work harder, strive more, burn out before you break through. But the truth is almost the opposite. The more you strain, the more you interfere with the natural rhythm that's already trying to deliver what you've been asking for. You are a part of the universe, not separate from it. When you relax into your own being, you tune yourself to the same frequency as the things you desire. You become a receiver, not a struggler. Imagine for a moment the...
Hey, listen. Between Heidi Priebe, who was the previous clip, and Alan Watts, in the name of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, they are cooking. But, see, when you're carrying on, you're struggling. One of the hardest things is to get into alignment with self. Listen, you study psychology. They're depending on what what field you're in. There's a section where it's going to go the old white guys, the founders, the old white guys. You're going to learn about them, right? Carl Jung is one of the old white guys, right? He sat at the feet of an old brown guy from India, J. Krishnamurti. Right? Individuation is alignment with self. There's another old brown guy by the name of Siddhartha Gautama, right? Who later became known as the Buddha. Right? Buddhism born out of Hinduism. Siddhartha was a Hindu prince. He saw three things outside of his protected palace that changed him forever: poverty, sickness, and death. Then he went on a self-journey, and the only way he came into enlightenment was to defeat his own demons. Buddha's story is 500 years before Christ. You think Carl Jung wasn't inspired by it? You got to go inside. No, I'm going to go outside and get a person, right, to, listen to what I'm going to say, to conform to the anxiety, right, to the brokenness, to the dysfunction that I have integrated into my identity. A good partner would show up and be able to cater and maneuver around all of the stuff that I brought to the proverbial psycho-spiritual table. That's a good person. That's the partner for me. No. Y'all got it backwards. Whether your love language is authentic or a trauma dialect in disguise. Whether your table is an altar or a landfill curated with spiritual jargon. Everybody got the jargon, right? You know, relationship is a mirror. Come on, man. We're going on the 10th anniversary of the Relationship Dismount book. Krishnamurti said that in the 20s, in the teens. Christ. Now that we got the jargon down, you have to embody the jargon in a quantum field of relating. As Thomas Campbell and Rahmana Maharishi imply, selfhood, egoic selfhood, is an illusion refracted through interaction, the mirror of relationship. When we stop needing others to complete us, we begin to meet them as they are, not as roles in our unhealed screenplay. This is not about readiness, it's about releasing. Not becoming perfect, but becoming porous. Right? So again, what do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? Hopefully nothing. Is it possible to bring nothing? I do believe so. Again, I go back to the conversation I had with the brother at the cigar lounge earlier this week. It's not that many people out there that can do that, Zoe. That's rare. No, that's your justification for not even trying. How many people out there could really do this? You trying to get people to be superhumans. Man, you sound like Luke Skywalker talking to Yoda. You guys remember that? I'm just old. Man, it's an old reference. You guys don't remember? Luke Skywalker. Empire Strikes Back. Yoda's training him on Dagobah. Right? In the swamp. And Yoda is telling him, hey, do you judge me by my size? He said, and if you do, you would make a dear mistake because my ally is the Force. And he says, the Force is all around us. It permeates the rock, the tree, me, you, the ship. He's telling him. Because Yoda asked Luke, hey man, use the Force to pull your ship out of the swamp. Luke tried, he failed. He said, why are you going all deep on a damn Star Wars movie? Okay, well, I'll say it the other way. Peter was asked to walk on water, and he took a few steps, and he stumbled. It's the same story. It's just rewritten for the movies. A little green elf is in the Jesus role here. The first thing Jesus said when he grabbed Peter from drowning and pulled him up, he said, "O ye of little faith." Luke tries to lift the ship, can't. He turns to Yoda and says, "You want the impossible." He walks further into the jungle and sits down and pouts like a little kid. Yoda then closes his eyes and lifts Luke Skywalker's ship out of the swamp and lands it. And he's going crazy. Oh my God, you did that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This is what he's telling Yoda. I can't believe it. And you know what Yoda says? It's the same. Jesus says, "Oh ye of little faith." You know what Yoda says to Luke Skywalker? Luke Skywalker says, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it." And he goes, "And that is why you fail." See, we're so focused on the person showing up right so we can take a self-vacation. Right? So focused. Right? We want a self-vacation. Yeah, all you got to do is be cool. Just be at peace, man. If you peace and I'm peace, that's quiet. That's not peace. That's two people having a commitment to not irritate each other. But the irritation is part of the initiation. the initiation into self. What do you think masonry is? Right? Right? Speculative mason. Not masonry, not operative masonry. An operative mason can build a castle with those tools. The plumb line, the compass, right? The gavel, right? He could, out of stone, right? Speculative mason, on the other hand, is building himself. That's what these secret societies were about. The mystery schools were about the spiritual knowledge of understanding self, elevating to such a degree that you touch the hemline of God consciously. That's when you see that your ego is so small. But no, we want to carry all this mess. We'd rather carry on than move on. Do you see? To be able to move on, right, is to, hey, I'm free of the entanglement. I'm free of the bondage, the residue. Everything about human beings is pattern making. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine, right? Your body records trauma. Soon as you experience something you experienced as a child, if it was very traumatic, instantly back to that moment. Everything is patterns. You were raised in a home. That's a pattern. A parental pattern modeled how you viewed relations. Everything is a pattern. And that's why you don't understand unconditional love, because that which is unconditioned, i.e. God and love, have no pattern. That's why you have to reduce it down to what you do, how you show up for me. Listen, if you were born in a situation that gave you an insecure attachment style, you were born to be a manipulator, to manipulate the things that you need. You got to be able to, because it wasn't given to you. So you learned how to get it. You don't know what it means to bring nothing to the psycho-spiritual table. That's why you put so much emphasis on society. Where does he work? How much money he got? Can he afford this? Can we go traveling? Can we eat wherever I want? Can we go to concerts? Can we, What? And then the inverse. She better be pretty. She better be fine. She better cook for me. She better nurture me. She better give it to me whenever I ask for it. It's all performative. It's all fake. Until you conquer you, it's all fake. What are you bringing to the psycho-spiritual table, and how come nobody told you how to clean that table, clear that table? Wash them wounds as you go. Isn't that how you wash? Isn't that how you clean your kitchen while you're cooking in it? When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep cooking.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures adventures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and puff.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Develop a picture in our head of how they're going to be, what they're going to do, how they're going to behave. They don't have the same picture in their head. And we have a higher expectation sometimes of those around us than we do of ourselves. And we give ourselves sometimes more grace than we do those around us. But those around us, they did not get the memo as to how we expect them to behave today.
And again, the voice of reason, Zoe Williams, live from Lamert Park. You already know what it is. KBLA Talk 1580. You already know how we get down. Unapologetically progressive here. And I was going to say aggressively progressive, but it's fine. I'm going to stick with the tagline. The voice of reason is on complete fire. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we play too much with people. We're selfish. We're greedy. We want what's best for us, and we will lie still and kill to do what's best for us. We will perform like we care. We will manipulate. We will obfuscate. We will do anything by any means necessary to bring ourselves quiet. But when it's time to really cultivate inward peace, which is to confront oneself, who you are, the demons that you allowed to become the chief architects of your identity, right? When it's time to confront that, we don't want to deal with that. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to face self. What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? Let me ask again, or let me state it this way. It's okay. I'm not talking about putting down, having a stable social life in terms of finances, in terms of education, in terms of career. I'm not talking about that. Sure, we all need that, and that's fine. But can we be honest with ourselves? Have we aggrandized its importance? Have we been so manipulated and bamboozled by capitalism and materialism that we kind of marginalize spiritualism in the environment of intimate relationships? Just a minute ago, I said, we're dominated by patterns. And if somebody was self-unaware while they were sitting, right, in the potter's house, oh, mama, my primary caregiver, daddy, they are the potters, right? And if they were not attuned to our needs while molding us like clay, they're setting us up to carry on as opposed to move on. Carry on generational curses. When we come forward. The voice of reason. You think I'm done. What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? Phone lines will be open and I want to talk to you. 1-800-920-1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The White House claims former President Obama tried to sabotage current President Trump after the 2016 election. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says newly declassified documents support the claim and show there was no Trump-Russia collusion.
The Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump.
Obama's office called the accusations outrageous and a weak attempt at distraction. Rapper Glorilla is facing felony drug charges after police found a large amount of marijuana in her Atlanta area home.